Welcome, everyone. I am back for another morning sesh of Scientology recap, filling in for Natalie Webster, of course. And we've got a bunch more clips than yesterday, so thank you, everyone, for sending them to Natalie. Keep them coming. More the better. The more that Natalie or I have to go through to select from, the better. I want to start the video this morning by thanking you all yet again for all the amazing, generous support that you guys have given to Natalie's GoFundMe. It is currently sitting at over $35,000, you guys. And the fundraising goal on this is $50,000. And I'll keep promoting it in the beginning and the end of these videos until we hit that target. You guys' support has just truly, it's shocking, guys. It's just there aren't words. I also want to remind everyone that on July 14th in Excelsior, Minnesota, is going to be the Celebration of Life Luau for Tony. And everyone is invited. The Celebration of Life Luau is going to be held at this facility called the Guest House, this venue. The website is theguesthousemn.com. I'm sure there'll be a link to it in the live chat. I misspoke yesterday when I said everyone was welcome to stay at the guest house. I take that back. Wasn't true. Fake news. The guest house is simply where the ceremony is going to be held. Not the Celebration of Life Luau event. Just anyone who wants to come, everyone's welcome to come, but you have to make your own arrangements for lodging. Yeah, so that was an important error. Uh-oh, hold on. I messed up my video. Okay, now on to the clips. And I am going to try to remember this time to, after each video clip, go to the live chat and see what you guys have to say about it. I know that's what Natalie does, and that works very well, and I keep messing that part up. Okay, so give me a second here to pull up a page. Well, actually, how are you guys doing? Let me say hello to Natalie's channel members. Oh, I got to scroll way up. Okay, Neuropsych93, welcome to the chat. Renee Blacklock, good morning. I guess I should say good afternoon, but for me, it's always morning anyway. Scooter Mom, Scientology Audit. I made it for a live. Fantastic. Welcome. Tinker Cat, hello. Lady Jane Out, hello. Dawn Meredith, good morning and afternoon. Me and Taz. Aaron is on a roll on his channel. I think he forgot about us. Yeah, I was trying to start and finish as quickly as possible. But sometimes, I know it might seem counterintuitive, sometimes starting later than you're scheduled gives more people a chance to arrive in the beginning. It depends on how YouTube pushes out its notifications, which is always hit and miss anyway, as we know. Shauna B, hello. Mena, hello. And Laura Boatwright, hello. Just made a second donation. Not a look at me, just a reminder or a nudge. That's very generous of you. Thank you. Corn Freak DBSC, hello. It says Pride Heart Rainbow Philly. You know, sometimes, depending on what platform you're on, it takes your emojis and it translates them into text. And now I'm wondering what the Pride Heart Rainbow Philly emoji is. I'll have that on my mind all day. Diana Johnson, hello. And Janet Burns, hello. I am crazy in head. I'm crazy in head. All right. Welcome. And Bacon Jenna, hello. James Steele and Jayla. All right. There's many more to say hello to, but we are going to have to stop right there. All right, let me pull up the page here that I was looking for. All right, I found it. And here we go. Okay, the first clip, it's actually a series of clips that we're looking at today, come to us courtesy of Confident Chris. And there is a Scientology security guard who has been there forever. And everyone who's been in the Sea Org in Los Angeles knows his name. It is the one and the only Odo Huber. For me, Odo is somewhat of a tragic figure. Odo is one of these guys whose family has been utterly destroyed by Scientology. His sisters are also people that I knew in the Sea Org. They are out of the Sea Org. They are out of Scientology. They're living great lives. They have families. They have children. Odo is someone like Odo's like my age. I mean, I'm 43. Odo's probably right around my age. He's someone who, if he left the Sea Org and if he left Scientology, would have an amazing family and community there for him. And he is there after all these years. I mean, guys, I left the Sea Org in 2006. Is that really 18 years ago now? Odo had already been in the Sea Org for a whole mess of years. This guy has been a security guard riding around guarding L. Ron Hubbard Way on his mountain bike for what we're talking about, like 25 years. It's a terrible existence. And anyway, Confident Chris has some clips here where he interacted with Odo, and Chris knows who Odo is. And anyway, let's just take a look at this.
Now Odo to the rescue.
Yeah. Help the chat.
Free Odo. Free Odo.
Okay, I actually have a few separate individual clips from Chris on this. Free Odo.
I'm gonna let him play, man.
Are you live right now?
Yeah.
On what?
On YouTube, man. I'm not really trying to show all this. I just saw that this guy was coming.
So there's these non-Scientologist kids who are playing around with a basketball on the west side of Scientology's parking lot on Fountain Avenue and L. Ron Hubbard Way. And they've gotten their basketball stuck in the tree. And Odo's gone over there and he's kind of made it his business. While the kids are getting their basketball out of the tree, they find a broom that's up there stuck in the tree. And Odo decides he needs to take possession of this broom. Let's see what's going on here.
Thank you.
Lucky, I don't know if I can get one.
Here you go, Odo. You don't want to get some from an SP?
Look, he's like, give me that broom.
Thank you. We love you, Odo.
Thank you, sir.
It's okay to leave the Sea Org, Odo.
It's okay to leave the Sea Org. Odo, thank God Odo was able to reclaim that $5 broom for Scientology. I mean, apparently no one from Scientology could be bothered to go up into the tree and reclaim that broom. Actually, you know what? I hope I'm not being, maybe I'm being way too cynical. Is it possible that Odo went and got that broom and gave it to the kids to help them get their basketball out of the tree? And he was actually just waiting there to get the broom back. Wow, that would be a whole different story. That would actually be very nice of Odo. God, I wonder if that's what happened. If someone saw enough of this clip to know for sure, I'm actually looking in the live chat, guys. Did Odo give them that broom? Oh, look at this. Odo brought the broom to start with. See, guys, there's a human being underneath that tough Sea Org security guard exterior. I apologize, Odo. You are actually not a villain in this story. You, sir, are a hero. And it is okay to leave Scientology. And you'll notice that even Confident Chris, being a big, bad, evil, suppressive person that he is, interacted with you, and you did not die of pneumonia instantly or anything. And Chris even offered you some help leaving Scientology when the day comes. So, Odo, just understand, when the day comes that you actually want to blow the Sea Org, in the event that you're prepared to not just leave the Sea Org, but leave Scientology altogether, leave it all behind, start brand new, the SPTV Foundation will be more than happy to help you. You can go to any one of the protesters, I mean, especially Confident Chris, and just say, all right, Chris, the day's come. The day has come. Help me get out of here. And we'll send you anywhere you want to go. I'm sure your sisters would love to reconnect with you. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, we also have another clip from Odo. I'm sorry, from Chris that doesn't have to do with Odo, but it is an amazing little example, visual example of the lengths to which Scientology has gone to prevent any other protesters from ever again, I mean, at least in the present, from doing anything like the encampment that was set up on Fountain Avenue. This really is incredible. I think I'm gonna have to mute the music on this one, and I'll just show you guys visually what's going on. Check this out, guys. And if Scientology is gonna go to these lengths to prevent that sort of activity from happening, it just shows you how much they hate it. The fact that they hate it, the fact that it bothers them so much is reason enough to figure out how to do it again sometime. All right, let's take a look at this. Okay, so what we're looking at here, wait, what is that road, guys? I'm totally forgetting what this road is. Catalina. Yeah, that's Catalina, right? Okay, this is the 1 block west of L. Ron Hubbard Way, bordering the PAC base. Look at this weird netting that they have set up over all of the easements. I mean, that's easement. That's not Scientology's private owned property. For some reason that I have not yet understood, Scientology is able to put up this kind of stuff on the public easement to prevent protesters or homeless people from hanging out there. Look at all that. And look at all these planters on the south side of Fountain, on the north side of Fountain. Guys, look at all the trouble that they have gone to prevent anyone from setting up tents, setting up grills, setting up tables. It's unbelievable. The amount of time, expense, man hours, bonkers, you guys. Oh my, and of course, oh yeah, forget these wooden planters. Look at the heavy duty ones right there. Well, right on the south side of LRH Way. Boom, the concrete ones. Oh my God, look how far down it goes. Oh, look, it's Scooter Man. This is Scooter Man. This is the guy who attacked Danny and had Danny arrested and has filed a restraining order against Danny. It's amazing. Scooter guy is able to walk around without the aid of his scooter. Isn't that incredible? Now they're hiding more planters. Yeah. By the way, guys, Scientology's latest event permit goes from the 10th until the 16th. Today's the 14th. So their event permit, they've got some bogus event permit for some, honoring veterans or whatever. Not a bogus thing to hold an event for. It's just a bogus thing for Scientology to claim that they're holding an event for. And now that they've got all these planters set up, now that it's impossible for people to just hang out there, now that the encampment has been broken down, I predict they won't bother renewing their event permit or pulling a different event permit for a different fake event. But I will reiterate this. I think I said this in the video yesterday, is when Jessica Palmadessa tried to get an event permit to close down L. Ron Hubbard Way for some sort of protest, the city told her the reason they were not, oh my goodness, someone is saying that they have pulled yet a new event permit that goes until July 7th. Guys, how could this even possibly be true? How could that even possibly be true? The city is, do we really believe that the city is just being bamboozled by Scientology? Or do we believe that the city is more than willing to be complicit in this obvious attempt to prevent protesters from exercising their free speech of protest on L. Ron Hubbard Way? We don't really believe anyone at the city is this stupid, right? We think that the city is just knowingly going along with Scientology's plan to stifle free speech and protest on L. Ron Hubbard Way, right? Because I don't see any other explanation for it. But anyway, what I was going to say there is the city's reason for not granting Jessica Palmadessa her permit is they said there's just no reason to close down the street since you guys are perfectly free to protest on the sidewalks of L. Ron Hubbard Way whenever you want. And yet look what has happened now. Protesters have been arrested for interrupting religious services by protesting too loudly on the sidewalks of L. Ron Hubbard Way. That was even before Scientology blocked half of all of the sidewalks with these ridiculous, unnecessary planters. These organizations have been operating here for 2 or 3 generations now, a couple generations. Never before has Scientology ever needed, wanted, or decided to put giant planters all the way up and down the entire street until the protesters showed up. It's maddening. It's infuriating. Okay. The next clip that we have comes to us. Oh, wait. I should check for comments. I keep forgetting you guys. Me and Taz says, hey, Aaron, could you wake up a little earlier on the days that you're helping Natalie out? This later schedule is messing up my daily routine. Just kidding. I wish I could, guys. I want to be on a schedule that is better for me and allows me to get more done in a day and allows me to get better sleep. I want to go to bed early. I want to wake up at like 6 or 7, God forbid 8. I want to get to the gym right away. I want to run my errands. I want to go to the grocery store. I want to come back. I want to have my first video ready to go, by noon. I know you're just kidding, but I mean, I'm working on it. And actually, remember, guys, I'm flying up to Minnesota tomorrow, and I'm going to be up there hanging out with Natalie for a week. So maybe can I ask her to help me get up earlier? I don't know. We'll see. Nancy Alley, wonderful moderator on this channel. Natalie's GoFundMe posted a link here, so you can see that in the live chat. Christina K, Ron. I just want to say what an amazing friend you are to keep Natalie's channel going while she deals with her family's situation. It is. I appreciate it. It is the least that I could do, in my opinion. I'm happy to be able to help in this way. And I think I'm fortunate that helping in this way is a way that is a big help to Natalie. And I'm glad that I'm able to do it and that I'm in a position to be able to do it pretty easily. And I enjoy it. It's fun. So thank you, Christina. Anna from Canada. W. Aaron. I see people writing things like this in the chat, like W before someone's name. I think it means win. Is this a way of being like, good job, X? Is that what this means, guys? I'm looking in the live chat. Someone tell me what this W mean. Does this mean win? Does this mean like good job, very well done? I'm looking in the live chat, guys. There's 1,300 of you in here. Tell me what it means, you guys. Yeah, okay, they're saying yes. That's what it means. Okay. Thank you very much. Bob says, hey, Osa, there is none so blind as those who will not see. Donna Davey, will the celebration of life be streamed for the many, many people who would love to but can't go? I think Natalie said yes. I see. Some of the mods are private chatting me answers to my questions. I never check the private chat, guys. I keep forgetting it's even there. I believe Natalie said that it would be live streamed. And so, yeah, I think you guys can count on that. Amber Vanass, happy Friday. Happy Friday, Amber. Every time Amber comments in the live chat, I'm reminded that we have been trying to connect up to do an interview together for weeks and weeks and weeks. And one of these days, it will actually happen. So good to see you, Amber. And I look forward to chatting with you shortly. Mama D63, email sent to Aaron with a link for breaking news about the cult and SA in San Francisco. Yikes. I'll tell you what, whatever that is, I'll look out for the email and I'll take it up tomorrow. How about that? Thank you, Mama D63. SPTV Inc. Osa, wake up. Are you listening? Osa, are you there? Wake up. That's right. That's one thing Natalie does all the time. Anhata on fire. Hashtag free Odo. Yes. Nothing would make me happier than to have an opportunity to help Odo get out of the Sea Org and get out of Scientology. I mean, I've known Odo for a long time. A lot of these guys that we like to tease and make fun of or troll because, they're there and they're Scientology security guards. These are people these are essential. I mean, these are fundamentally good people. These are people who are doing their jobs. And it's not like they're just, I don't want to do the job, but I'm doing the job. No, they believe in the job that they're doing. But underneath the fact that they're doing a job that they believe in for a destructive human trafficking cult, I'm just being honest, these guys are good people. Odo's a good guy, and I wish he had the opportunity to be a good guy out of Scientology, living with real total freedom. From a poet, Brian Lucas, I watched this play out in real time. It was cool. Odo does have a heart. Yeah, that's true. Thank you for saying that. Amber Vanass, I really didn't know Odo very well. I knew Roy really well and Don. I don't remember Don. I knew Roy really well as well because his son Sebastian was the board IC in the HGC for Astro Foundation, and as the tech sec for Astro Day, I spent a bunch of time in the HGC. And Sebastian was my age, and he was really into fitness, and we would actually go to the gym together. We would wake up early, we would get in our bikes, and we would go over to the Bally's gym. And because Sebastian's father Roy was in charge of all the security bicycles, he was like a bicycle maintenance specialist. So he would fix chains, he would fix tires, he would pump up tires. And so that's how I got to know Roy through his son Sebastian. And one of the reasons that Roy, maybe you guys have been wondering, where's Roy? Roy's missing. Roy's been transferred to Clearwater, Florida. And one of the reasons is because his son Sebastian is out of the Sea Org and lives in the Clearwater, Florida area. Plus, they had transferred Roy's wife to Clearwater a long time ago. And so Roy not only had been separated from his wife, he'd been separated from his son. And in a rare instance of Scientology doing something that's actually a benefit to one of its Sea Org members, it sent Roy to Clearwater. As a Sea Org member. Now, I'm told that Roy is not in security. He was not sent to be a security guard here in Clearwater. He's on some other post, and I don't know which exactly. So if anyone out there knows what post Roy Rodriguez is on in Clearwater, Florida, please hit me up at growingupinscientology@gmail.com. Selfless Self. Good to see you, Selfless Self. Confident Chris is the mega winner. Yes, 3 clips or 4 clips for Chris for today. Windy City Thetan Watch. First evidence of Scientology actually helping the community. That is an excellent point. Okay, the next clip that we have comes to us by way of the one and only Audit LA. Okay, let me get my tabs in order here so I don't lose my spot. Okay, so we've already had the free Odo segment. Now we're going to have the free Jason segment. It's not a long segment, but it is a short one. And I did do a video on my channel a little while back explaining that Jason Jordan is a Sea Org security guard who does not want to be there. Now, to be clear, not wanting to be there is sort of a discontentment. Jason Jordan is a Sea Org member who has told his seniors many times over the last 10 years he wants to leave the Sea Org. That I want to be clear about this. If Jason Jordan wanted to leave the Sea Org and Scientology, there's nothing keeping him from doing that. He could just run down the street and go to the police and say, please take me somewhere. Like no one's airing Jason Jordan's business in a way that endangers him, to let it be known to the world what Jason's seniors have already known for a decade, which is that this guy every now and then just tells everyone he wants to leave. I love the fact that the protesters now know this about Jason. And it's within the protesters' power to figure out how to use this information compassionately, or you could troll him, or whatever. It doesn't matter how you use the information, but I'm glad that the protesters have this information to choose how they want to use it. So let's see what Audit LA says. Let's take a look.
Didn't know we could help get you housing. We'd help you get out, William. We'd be happy to.
They call him William, but his name's Jason.
I don't hold grudges. If you want to get out, I'd help you today. I would. I am moving. Okay, and I'm moving. I didn't know we could help get you housing. We'd help you.
It has to drive Jason's seniors absolutely crazy that anytime the protesters come into contact with him, they are potentially going to offer to help him escape. Now, for the protesters who really enjoy using like accurate language, let's be clear about this. It's not leaving the Sea Org. I'm sorry. He wants to leave the Sea Org. He doesn't want to leave Scientology. And that's some of the ways that Scientology is able to leverage. It's some of the leverage that they have over these Sea Org members is that A lot of these people who want to leave the Sea Org, they want to remain in Scientology, which means in order to stay in good standing with Scientology, they have to follow Scientology's rules. You can leave the Sea Org as long as you follow their rules on the proper procedure on how to leave the Sea Org. Now, that procedure is long, it's embarrassing, it's humiliating, it involves invasive interrogations. And once you leave the Sea Org, you're looked down on as a degraded being for basically ever. L. Ron Hubbard said that people who leave the Sea Org and break their billion-year contract are degraded beings. And being ex-ESO in the Scientology world, it's a pejorative. Like, it's kind of a slur. Oh, you're ex-ESO. You're always considered lesser than. And this is one of the mental components that keeps people in the Sea Org. So just realize, guys, if you want to offer Jason help, don't offer him help leaving the Sea Org. Offer him, say, hey, look, I understand you want to leave the Sea Org, but if you want to leave Scientology, we will help you. If you want to leave Scientology, the SPTV Foundation will send you anywhere in the world that you want to go. Do you want to go to an exotic beach in the Maldives? We'll send you there. Do you just want to go to some family that's out of Scientology and you've had to disconnect from them? We'll send you there too. Yeah, I hope the protesters continue to let Jason know. Help leaving Scientology is available. Okay, the next, I'm sorry, let me check the live chat, guys. See, I'm always in a rush, guys. I'm always in a rush. Okay, Tori says the protesters should plant vegetables in the planters for the homeless. Oh my God, that is brilliant. As long as Scientology is going to put those planters there, put a bunch of seeds in there. That's excellent. Anna from Canada says, we need to send clips for anything recent to help our Natalie. Yeah, guys, please do. Natalie's email address is in the video description of this video. I'm sure the moderators will be pasting it in the live chat. And guys, don't just send links. Send links and timestamps, or send clips for those of you who know how to send clips. The more the better, guys. Because even if Natalie, and send them to Natalie, you can copy me if you want, but send them to Natalie. Every morning, Natalie will just forward me everything she wants to forward me. Shit, what was I saying? Oh, I said the S word. My bad. I totally lost my train of thought. Moving on. Diana Johnson says, I can't even get a puppy from the pound. How can Scientology get a permit? I think that dirty Scientology money greases the wheels of what is it called? Bureaucracy. Greases the wheels of bureaucracy over at the LA city government is my guess. Amber Vanass says, I wake up every morning at 4 a.m. for work, going on 12 years now. Oh my God. Oh my God. That would be way too early for me. I mean, you must go to bed at like 8 p.m. Wait, 8, 9, 10. You must go to bed at 7 or 8 p.m. I'm actually kind of jealous of that, actually. But I am a night owl and I love staying up late. So, I'd be happy if I could just go to bed at 11 p.m. I'd be happy if I could go to bed at midnight every night. That would be okay with me. Let's see. Aaron Osman, for us locals in Minnesota, will you have any sort of a meet and greet? You know what? I feel like almost certainly. I guess it depends on when everyone arrives. So, I mean, let's be honest. The event itself is going to kind of be a meet and greet, isn't it? Come to the event. Other than that, I feel if the schedule allows for it, absolutely. But if I don't know, Natalie, send me a text. Like, is it horrible to turn the event into a meet and greet? I mean, it's kind of a meet and greet anyway. If everyone just shows up and everyone's there, right? We're gonna have it's called a celebration of life luau. I mean, it's already a party. So yeah, those are my thoughts. To be amended as necessary. Genuinely, please let people interested in attending Tony's luau know that nearby Canhasset or Minnetonka, Minnesota. Okay, so I guess the towns nearby are Canhasset, Minnesota, and Minnetonka, Minnesota. Home of Prince and Paisley Park. Well, there you go. Do with that information what you will, folks. Janet Burns says, check out Oh No Nora's stream from Wednesday night. I think Nora highlighted Scientology's latest event, Scam. Well, thank you for the heads up, Janet. I appreciate it. Dr. MLS. All right. Isn't it true that if I leave Natalie's channel on all the time, that it does something positive to the YouTube algorithm? In my humble opinion, as just a YouTuber, like all other YouTubers who doesn't have only thinks we know how YouTube's algorithm works, I'm going to say no. Because realize, over an entire channel, there's always someone watching one of the videos anyway. So let me say this: the higher level of views a channel gets consistently at any given time, yes, has an effect. A higher level of interest in a channel or in a video, yes. YouTube, any signals that YouTube gets that goes, oh, there seems to be a higher than normal level of interest in this video or this channel. The algorithm usually, in my opinion, looks at videos more than channels. So if there is one particular video, even if it's an old video, and it starts to catch fire, YouTube doesn't know why it's catching fire. It can just tell that it's catching fire. And it will say something about this video is creating a higher than level normal of interest in this particular viewer category. And our algorithm thinks that people in this viewer category that are interested in this, this other group might also be interested in it. And then they'll push that video out into the recommended feed of a wider group of people. And if it has a higher than expected level engagement in that wider group of people, it will then push it out to a wider group of people. So, so I guess what I'm saying is just leaving a channel on all the time is not specifically going to have any meaningful effect on the algorithm. If 5,000 people all of a sudden clicked on one of Natalie's old videos, you would see YouTube go, oh my God, something's happening with this video. Push it out to a wider audience. But then if it pushes out to a wider audience and it gets lower than expected engagement, then YouTube will stop pushing it out. That's kind of how it goes. And that's why videos will catch fire, because YouTube's recommending it to a wider group. And they go, oh, this worked. Recommend it to a wider group. Oh, that worked. Recommend it to a wider group. And then it'll hit the limit and then it'll die. That's how viewership stats on a video go. Okay, Christina Lynn, the Sebastian from the Test Center days is now out of Scientology. Different Sebastian. That's a completely different Sebastian. Sebastian Rodriguez is an American who's my age. The Sebastian from the Test Center is obviously not American and is much younger than me. Thank you for the question. Jules Fire Rocks, welcome as a channel member. And Rodo says, so if I join Scientology and then want to leave, I can go to the Maldives? If your name is Odo Huber, you can. All right, let's go to the next clip. This one I love. This is cool. The next clip comes to us courtesy of Perth Scientology Audit. And Perth did a compilation. This might be another one where I might have to mute the music. Yeah, I'm going to mute the music on this one. Of Scientology's, she did a compilation of 10 of Scientology's empty, vacant, abandoned buildings in the world. And this is awesome. This whole compilation is only 60 seconds long. So let's just watch the whole thing, even though I'm turning off the sound. Okay, we have the Manchester org. Guys, look how huge that freaking org is. This is for real. That is a freaking org, you guys. Can you believe it? That org has been sitting there vacant for 16 years. Isn't that incredible? Gateshead, UK, empty for 15 years. New Haven, Connecticut. Uh-oh. Someone always tries to call me on Signal. I can put my computer on Do Not Disturb, and it works for everything except Signal. Okay, so this is Connecticut, right? Empty for 20 years. That's Philly. Guys, Philly's where I'm from. The Philly org is where I'm from in the Scientology world. A bunch of Philadelphia public got together and took out a huge loan and turned that money over to Scientology so that building could be purchased about 17 years ago. And in the 17 years that Scientology has owned that building, they have not done anything with it. Could you imagine being a Philadelphia-based Scientologist who 17 years ago were told, we urgently need your money now. so that we can buy and renovate this org, turn it into an ideal organization for Philadelphia. It would make Philadelphia go Saint Hill size, and then we would have OT 9 and 10. Imagine being pressured for money so bad that you took out a loan to accomplish the fundraising goal. And 17 years later, they not only haven't occupied the building, they haven't even begun renovating it. Because even though they were able to scrape together enough money, borrow enough money to buy the building, they could never raise enough money to fundraise it. And for whatever reason, David Miscavige does not care enough about the Philadelphia org, even though Philadelphia is where David Miscavige got into Scientology. David Miscavige doesn't care enough about the Philadelphia org to step in and say, you know what? We're going to pay for it. We're going to use the billions of dollars that we already have in the bank, and we're just going to pay for it. We're not going to make you guys, we're not going to force you guys to come up with more new money to pay for the renovations. We're just going to pay for it. Okay, let's get back to business here. Philly org, vacant for 17 years. Toronto, Canada, empty, 14 years. Montreal, look at that beautiful building. Empty, 17 years. Adelaide, Australia, empty, 11 years. Tasmania, Australia, I didn't know there was a Tasmanian org. Empty for 5 years. Ballivor, Ireland, wow, look at that place. Empty, 17 years. Edinburgh, Scotland, empty, 4 years. There are many, many more. Absolutely fantastic. This is one of those things that to the world outside of Scientology may not be incredibly important or impactful or meaningful or whatever. But you have to understand, Scientologists in the world were told by David Miscavige back in 2000, was it 4 or 5? This whole thing started to roll out when I was still working in the Sea organization on L. Ron Hubbard Way. He said, this is the key to unlocking explosive worldwide growth for Scientology. He said, we need to slam dunk these brand new, giant, beautiful buildings that has 1/3 of the square footage of the building dedicated to bringing in brand new public. We're going to use these brand new audiovisual displays, all these videos that explain every aspect of Scientology. No one has to say anything anymore. You don't have to explain Scientology to people. We've created all these videos that will explain every aspect of Scientology. It's going to standardize dissemination in Scientology. It's going to fix all of our problems. And Scientologists were told that when every org in the world has their brand new building and is fully renovated, all the ideal orgs are done, we will release OT 9 and 10. Guys, if Scientologists, even when that was announced, were told this is all going to get done in the next 12 months. We've contracted with an architectural design firm and a construction firm. It's like Gensler or Gensler. I always forget how to say it. And we're going to have all orgs in the world done in the next 12 to 24 months. That was 20 years ago. And half of the orgs in the world have not finished this process of buying a new building and renovating their building. Also, in those 20 years, no new Scientology organizations have opened. Okay. So if you're a Scientologist in the bubble, don't you have to ask yourself, wait a second, if OT 9 and 10 is what's going to help free every spiritual being in this on this planet, and then later in this sector of the Galactic Federation, why has David Miscavige allowed this plan to drag on for 20 years and it's only half done? If you're a Scientologist, you have to go, how could David Miscavige possibly be taking clearing the planet seriously when he put a plan into motion that he said was going to take a year, and it's taken 20 years, and we're only halfway done? That's insane. And especially when Scientologists come to understand that Scientology has billions of dollars in the bank. So David Miscavige, if he wanted to, could have paid for all the buildings and the renovations in a 12 or 24 month period, but he doesn't. He's using this real estate scam and this fake, this fake plan as a fundraising tool, because all he's really interested in is the money. He's not trying to expand Scientology. He's not trying to clear the planet. Now, I realize only a Scientologist would care about those things, but that's actually my point. I like talking about things that Scientologists would care about, because part of the goal is to help those guys wake up and realize you're being defrauded, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money. There's no such thing as full OT. There's no such thing as full operating thetan. L. Ron Hubbard did not go off to Target 2. He ain't never coming back. There are no upper OT levels. There's no such thing as OT 9 and 10. If there was such a thing as OT 9 and 10, David Miscavige wouldn't keep dragging out the plan and moving the goalposts for what needs to be accomplished in order to release OT 9 and 10. It's just this fake carrot that he's dangling in front of all the Scientologists to convince them to keep giving us your time, give us your money, give us your children, give us your next billion years, and just don't question anything. It's crazy. The real estate stuff is something that if Scientologists thought about it long enough would cause them to potentially wake up. Okay, let me jump into the live chat and see what's going on. Unindoctrinated. Hey, Aaron, you're really on fire today. Well, thank you very much. I try. I do my best. Haggis Basher. Auto LA is so good for her community, and even in a wheelchair is out there on the street doing something to protest in her own way. Absolutely. Neuropsych 93. What a waste. James Smith. Wow. What a scam sham cult. Maxine B. What a terrible waste. A huge homeless problem in Manchester. Need housing. It makes me sick. Yeah. Wait. Corcola. All those emptied buildings could house the unhoused. It's true. Sassy Savage. Does the city not care about abandoned buildings? In some of these cities, guys, the city has actually filed suit against Scientology or has assessed back taxes, because an empty abandoned building is not serving any religious purpose. Scientology does claim tax exempt that do not pay property taxes on these abandoned buildings. So in some of these cases, the city has moved to assess taxes against the buildings, because I think it can only sit abandoned for so many years before a church can no longer claim that the property is serving a religious purpose. And so David Miscavige just does not want to spend any not one more dollar than he absolutely has to in order to keep this scam rolling along. And he derives value from being able to blame the Scientologists in each one of their cities, that they are actually the ones who are at fault for not being able to raise enough money to get these renovations completed. Now, the fact is, anyone who thought about it deeply enough for a few minutes would realize the problem is that there aren't enough Scientologists in the world to donate enough money to finish this project. And that David Miscavige has already been hoarding hundreds of millions and billions of dollars in the bank accounts all these years, while constantly pretending to the Scientologists in the world that the church is actually, broke. It operates at such slim profit margins, and it spends its money on all these efforts to protect and safeguard the Scientology religion. As a true believing Scientologist, when I still was one, the first time I saw it reported in the press that Scientology actually had billions of dollars in the bank, I was actually horrified. Because as a Scientologist, it had never occurred to me that all of the constant demands for new money and new money and new money, we were always led to believe that the reason we needed new money is because that money was actually needed urgently. Now, some people have said to me, it's not scandalous. It's not scandalous for an organization, even a nonprofit organization, to have billions of dollars in the bank. People who donate to Harvard or Yale or Penn or, these Ivy League schools, people who donate to these universities, they already know that these universities have many billions of dollars in their endowment funds. And I go, yeah, but they already know that organization has that money, and they're choosing to donate anyway for their own reasons. Scientologists choose to donate because they are made to believe that the organization desperately needs this money urgently now for its own survival. Not that it already has the money and could fix this thing now, but just wants more money. Do you see what I'm saying? The informed consent does not exist in Scientology as far as what is it you're donating? Why is this donation needed right now? And that's intentional. I mean, if Scientologists knew there was billions of dollars in the bank, they would not be susceptible to the sort of crush fundraising that occurs in Scientology. Anyway, you guys get my point. Okay, Lacey, you're doing a fantastic job, Aaron. Love and hugs for Natalie. Thank you so much. Pip's mom says, I remember going to that Toronto organ, getting kicked out. memories. Danny's in the chat. Good to see you, Danny. How's everyone doing? Linda says, did those empty buildings ever house Scientologists? No. None of these buildings were even used to house Scientologists. I mean, that would be interesting, right? If so, you have the staff members working at one organization building, then they buy a giant building. They could at least say, hey, all the staff members can live for free in the new building. If living for free in the new building until we have enough money to renovate it would allow our staff members to maybe work less hours at a moonlight job and spend more hours in the org, that would actually be a good use of resources. But hell no. In fact, I think people would actually get in trouble in Scientology if they tried to do that. But it's a good idea. Selfless Self, good to see you in here, Selfless Self. Freemasonic buildings are a primary target for Scientology buying buildings. It certainly does seem that way. Power Lies to Paralyze, $8 million for the Philadelphia building. Incredible. Kirsten says, Boston, Massachusetts purchased a $2.5 million building in 2015. Quote, will be fully functional and staffed by 2025. Richard Francoeur, good to see you, Richard. Sorry we weren't able to connect in Montreal, but some other time for sure. Well said, Aaron. This is exactly how we got sold the ideal org BS. That's right. Totally. We need to get these buildings done. It's going to create a flood of new Scientologists coming in. It's going to be this like positive feedback loop. Success breeds success. You know, the reason Scientology is struggling is because we have these old, crappy, small buildings without proper space allocation for new members and all this kind of stuff. And what's amazing, guys, and it's one of the awesome things about having these YouTube streaming protesters outside of all of these orgs that already have their new buildings is to show Scientologists all over the world that, guys, the new buildings are just as empty as the old buildings. The strategy doesn't work. David Miscavige knows the strategy doesn't work. He knows the ideal org buildings are vacant and empty. And it's just a fundraising real estate scam. Pinche Becky, 0F's Given says, why charge people money if he could give the information for free to clear everyone? It's a good question. L. Ron Hubbard gave himself a little loophole, gave himself an out on this. And he says, if you give people something for free, they don't value it. So you have to charge for it so that people will value it. Otherwise, you degrade the thing. By giving it away for free, you degrade it and people won't value it. Again, it's one of those things, you think about it long enough, it doesn't make any sense. If you give someone something for free and it is incredibly helpful to them, they are going to think it's incredibly helpful to them regardless of how much they paid for it. It's just an excuse that L. Ron Hubbard came up with to explain charging high prices. Ruth Ann McCallop, why don't Scientologists question why OT 9 and 10 must wait to be released if it will save the planet? That is because L. Ron Hubbard said that OT 9 and 10 is so powerful that society needs to be calm enough. Again, you think about this a little deeply and it doesn't make any sense. Scientology has to have enough of a foothold in society. It has to have enough influence in society so that when OT 9 and 10 are released, the evil suppressive powers that be in this world, which are psychiatrists and the international bankers, that the environment has to be calm enough that when OT 9 and 10 are released, Scientology is able to defend itself against the horrendous attacks from the evil psychiatrists and the international bankers. And so Scientology has to have a certain level of influence in the world before OT 9 and 10 can be released. But L. Ron Hubbard defined that influence as all of the organizations in the world being what he called Saint Hill size, which is the same size or approximately the same size that the organization in Saint Hill, England was when L. Ron Hubbard was personally running it. Now, the statistics that have been used as a benchmark for what it means to be Saint Hill size are actually just statistics that somebody pulled out of their butt. They're not real, but the statistics were more or less 200 staff members, 20 posted auditors. That wasn't. It was 200 staff members. I think 200 hours of 200 well-done auditing hours a week in the organization, something like that. Approximately $100,000 a week of income. Let me tell you guys, there is approximately, rounding to the nearest single digit, there is approximately 0 Saint Hill size Scientology organizations in the world, non-Sea Org orgs. The flag land base in Clearwater, Florida is St. Hill size many times over. I am willing to bet that even the celebrity center in Los Angeles at this point is no longer St. Hill size. You know, the advanced organization in Los Angeles on L. Ron Hubbard Way is probably St. Hill size. Certain Sea Org organizations that are service organizations are probably St. Hill size. But when it comes to organizations that are staffed by non-Sea Org members, what the Scientology world calls a class 5 organization, that does not deliver the OT levels. They just deliver the bottom half of the bridge, the non-confidential half of the bridge. There is not a single St. Hill size org in the world. So, okay. So I think your question was, why don't they question why OT 9 and 10 isn't released? Yes. Because L. Ron Hubbard says that all orgs in the world have to go St. Hill size before we release OT 9 and 10. I believe the goal was to set a target that was so unrealistic and so unobtainable that it could never happen. And it would always serve as the justification for why OT 9 and 10 isn't released. The real answer is there's no such thing as OT 9 and 10. L. Ron Hubbard didn't leave it behind. He left no notes that even explained what OT 9 and 10 should even deal with or be about. And David Miscavige has been lying to all of the Scientologists in the world every single year since he took power in about maybe 1988. And every single year he tells the Scientologists that OT 9 and 10 is right around the corner and it's closer than you think, or it might be next year. He knows they don't even exist. That is in a real practical terms, what makes Scientology just an outright fraud. Guys, at least the Pope really believes in heaven. David Miscavige knows there's no such thing as OT 9 and 10. And he lies to all the Scientologists about it. By the way, guys, if you're looking for another way to troll the Sea Org members or the security guards particularly, talk to them about this OT 9 and 10 thing. Hey, you know there's no OT 9 and 10, right? You can figure out ways to talk to them about it. All right, let's see. Scarlet Phalanges? Scarlet Phalanges? Oh, Scarlet Phalanges. There you go. Phalanges. Okay. All empty from 17 years ago. What happened around that time? When did Mike Rinder leave? Oh, the answer to your question is what happened around that time is that's the time the freaking strategy started. That's when David Miscavige rolled out this whole real estate strategy. And a lot of people were like, oh my God, this is it. He's finally given us something that we can do, we can accomplish it. We can't find 200 staff members. We can't magically figure out how to sell $100,000 a week of Scientology service, but we can buy a building. We can come up with the money to buy a building. And so they bought the buildings. And then the buildings just sat there. Mexican long hair. Good to see a Mexican long hair. One of the messages I chalked in Denver that someone suggested was all of the other orgs are as empty as this one. It's perfect. It's an awesome message to get out to the staff members of these different orgs. That's fantastic. Kate D, what will David Miscavige do with all the money that is, what will he do with all that money? He's always in hiding. Wait, what will he do with all that money? He's always in hiding. I don't believe David Miscavige is actually personally motivated by the money. I think he's motivated by the control of others. The truth is, like, what is he going to do with the money? Nothing. I mean, he can already go wherever he wants, do whatever he wants. I mean, what's he going to go scuba diving even more often? What's he going to go frolic with Tom Cruise even more often? What's he going to go like? David Miscavige already has residences on every continent where Scientology has a presence. Like, he doesn't need the money. I really think it's just a way to control others and subjugate others, is my personal opinion. SP Chef, excellent to see you in here, Samuel. Thank you. We'll be chatting with L. Ron Hubcult next week too. Oh, that's right. You published an interview with the Scientology Up North. I forget her name, but apologies. And Scientology Up North and L. Ron Hubcult have been going out live streaming together in Copenhagen. And so check out SP Chef's channel for those interviews. That is awesome. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. All right. Aaron, I just want to say this from Never and Catherine. I just want to say how much I appreciate your neutral approach to the things that are happening. I feel that everyone out there fighting this cause is amazing. They are all so brave. Well, thank you. That's very kind of you. And I agree with you. Haggis Basher, do they have a Sea Org in Canada somewhere? Yes, they have a Sea Org, but it's not a Sea Org service org. It's the Sea Org Continental Management Office, and it's in Toronto. It's called the CLO Canada, or the Continental Liaison Office Canada. CLO, or Continental Liaison Office, is just the name for every continental Sea Org management unit. And you've got the West US, the East US, Canada, Latin America, UK, Europe, ANZO in Australia, and I think there's one in Taiwan these days. And South Africa, of course, in Johannesburg. Yes. So, but there's no advanced org in Canada. An advanced org is an org that delivers the OT levels, the confidential OT levels, and it's staffed by Sea Org members. And they did purchase a property in Canada to build an advanced org, or to renovate one. They purchased the property. They're supposed to renovate it into an advanced org. They did the same thing in Mexico City, but they haven't renovated it. It's been sitting there empty. Those are other vacant Scientology properties. So there's nowhere in Mexico to do your OT levels. There's nowhere in Canada to do your OT levels. There's an advanced org in Los Angeles, Clearwater, South Africa, UK, St. Hill, England, Copenhagen, and Sydney, Australia, and the Freewinds ship. I feel like I'm missing one, but just off the top of my head, there's about 7 or 8 of them. Richard Francoeur says, in Scientology, you're always under pressures with a constant feeling that it's never enough. Absolutely. Jeff Augustine, Scientology Money Project. Good to see you in here, Jeff. Quick math, over $250 million in empty Scientology orgs. This is what your donations buy. Abandoned buildings. Indeed. Now, guys, imagine what a flop it would be if Scientology was assessed property tax bills on $250 million of vacant property. So this is an interesting way for people who want to, help in an activist way. Is if you live in a city where one of these abandoned buildings it's been sitting for 10, 15, 17 years, do the research, figure out who do you have to contact in the city? What wheels would you have to put in motion to get the city to assess Scientology with property tax bills for these vacant properties? That would be an incredibly helpful and productive form of activism. Miss Kim says, how has David Miscavige not just made up OT 9 and 10? It doesn't seem that hard. He could hire an outsider to do it. He has no imagination. Great show. Thank you, Miss Kim. This question does come up. The fact is, look, I've heard people say that David Miscavige could pretty much come up with anything he wants, and a certain percentage of Scientologists will just swallow it, hook, line, and sinker, fall for it, go along with it. But there is a problem. Once you release something, you now have to explain why this thing was so special, so magical, so powerful that you have to realize, guys, OT8 came out in I always get this slightly wrong, sometime around 1987, 88. Okay. A couple years after L. Ron Hubbard died, somewhere within the 2-year period after L. Ron Hubbard died, OT8 was released. So I'm not good at math, guys, but 12 years plus 24, that's 36. You have to explain why this thing was so unique and magical that it had to wait 36 years. Oh, and that's if it came out today. So if he released OT 9 and 10 today, you'd have to explain, why have we waited 36 years for this? For that reason, it cannot be the same type of thing that is on OT 1 through 8. And OT 3 through 8, OT 1 and 2, you can just forget them. They're stupid. OT 3 through 8 all have to do with body thetans and thetan clusters. Xenu, hydrogen bombs, volcanoes is how body thetans came into existence. And body thetans are like these sick, diseased, unconscious spirits that are stuck to our bodies. OT 3 through 8 all have to do with getting rid of these body thetans. OT 9 and 10 can't just be more body thetans. So it would have to be something that is so clever and so powerful, or potentially powerful, that you could convince Scientologists why it had to wait for 40 years. It's easier to not release it and convince Scientologists it's their fault than to release it and hope that you can make all the Scientologists happy. That's my opinion on it. L. Ron Hubcold, good to see you in here. L. Ron Hubcold and Liz Gail is in the chat, you guys. Liz has entered the building. Good to see you, Liz. Okay, let's see. Do I have another clip? Yes, I do. This might actually be Oh, no. Okay, we have 2 more clips. All right, the next one comes to us courtesy of the one and only Declared Dave. Loves suppressive Sherry. And so what Declared Dave did is he went and took himself one of Scientology's online personality tests. Now, Declared Dave, I need you to email me. I've already watched this video clip, obviously. How did you get the evaluation script? So Declared Dave shows an example of the test results, the graph results, and the printed off evaluation script that the person, if you would actually have done this in a Scientology organization, you take your test, someone would come out and bring you in for the interview where they were going to give you the results of your test. And the computer system literally spits out a script that the evaluator is supposed to say to this person to basically ruin them, find their ruin is what they call it in Scientology, and convince them that a Scientology course can help you with that. And he actually does a little example here, and I thought it was really amazing. So let me just play a little bit of this for you guys.
And what you've got here is my test. This is the graph, and you can see this is the pattern. This is the document that the software prints out that tells you in basically the particular categories. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. It tells you like in H3, 4. So if we go back to my chart and we go to I, and we go look at H, and we see that H is low. I marked H as low, right? So it's below 0. This is actually at -10. My I, so I is correct estimation, is what it's called, or critical. And if we look at that, it says you, me, as in me, are incapable of being empathetic as you cannot put yourself in another person's place and therefore understand his viewpoints or situation. Now, I answered this honestly, and I can go up to you and ask all my friends, colleagues, family that I am extremely empathetic. So already this is BS. Because of this, you are not really as appreciative as you would like to consider yourself, as you only superficially try to be fair in your attitude. Really, your lack of understanding is bad, and you only pretend to see the good side. When we look at A2.
Okay. So here's what I always found in these test evaluations. Now, I remember when I was in Scientology, I actually did the course called, what is it called? The Scientology Scientometric Testing and Evaluation Manual or course or something like this. I remember being terribly, terribly confused when I first did this course. Because I was started, and I didn't do the course because it had anything to do with my job. For some reason, I don't remember why I actually had to do the course, because it sure as heck was not my job to evaluate these tests, nor did I ever evaluate these tests. But I remember the reason I struggled studying this thing is because I was trying to study it through the lens of believing that this was an actual thing, that these tests were real, the results were real, they had some scientific basis. And when you study the course, it's impossible not to have to come to terms with the fact that this is just a sales tool, and it serves no other purpose than to be a sales tool. And it's really not possible to like do well on the test if you're a new Scientologist, because they consider, if you've been in Scientology a long time, they will allow you to get good test results and then claim that they're actually good test results. But if you're just walking into a Scientology org for the first time, it's not considered that it's even possible that you could have good test results. So having good test results is considered even worse than having bad test results. Because if you have bad test results, they're going to say, well, sure, you're messed up, but at least you're not in denial about it. Because remember, you're the one answering these questions about yourself on this test. So like, sure, you're depressed and critical and withdrawn, but at least you're honest about it. If you actually have good test results, they're like, oh, you are a deeply deluded, sick individual. Only after you've had a lot of Scientology auditing will they actually say there's such a thing as having good test results. And so one of these things, these test evaluations are written in a way, it's almost like, I'm going to offend a lot of people here, horoscopes, where no matter what the horoscope says, if you're being reflective about it enough, you're going to be like, oh my God, that's me. How did they know? All right, I just offended all you people who love horoscopes. So look, the date on this test was like June 7th. So like he really took this test, and I'm dying to know, how did you get the test evaluation? There's no way they print that off for you, make that available on the website, is it? That would be incredible. Okay, let me see. That was declared Dave loves up. Let me jump into the live chat here. Let me jump into the live chat. Okay. Nope. Saw that one already. Becca Jean says, is Davey going to have an empty office when he drops the body? I'm not sure what that means, actually. Davey's probably got about 12 empty offices. Even his office at the International Management Base in Riverside County, California is empty because he doesn't even go there anymore. That's right. David Miscavige's $50 million office building that he had constructed just for his own personal use and the use of his personal staff isn't even used by him anymore. This is how much of a real estate scam Scientology is. Pearl Snappy says, hi, Pearl Snappy. Guess what, Pearl Snappy? Your clip is the last clip we are going to be doing today. So good to see you in here. Soysuka. I never know if it's Soysuka or Soysuka. I want to say Soysuka. What do Scientologists think about Ouija boards? Oh, they don't believe Ouija boards or anything. They just believe it's just a hoax. Now there might be some Scientologists who believe that maybe some disembodied thetans are guiding the Ouija board, but I would guess that most people just think it's sort of someone's always controlling the Ouija board thing. Lisa Gillespie. Hey, Aaron, thanks so much for all that you do. When you see Natalie, please give her our love. I certainly will. Okay, last clip that we have here. And I meant to do this yesterday, but I actually just forgot. And this one comes to us from, let me get the screen share going here. Pearl Snappy. And I believe the clip, at least the one that I'm going to show you, comes courtesy of SPTV Fans, who really does some fantastic clips and compilations from other protester videos. Check this out, guys. Guys, out in LA, we have seen Scientology use non-Scientology persons, provocateurs to harass the protesters, like Patrick Perry out in Hollywood and his killer dog. The guy that we're about to see here, there's no way this guy's a Scientologist. I promise you, Scientology gave this guy $50 or $100 or whatever to do what you are about to see him do. Check this out.
Or what it could be about.
Don't quote me, boys, because I ain't saying shit. Yeah, he walks. Look at him. Look at this idiot. Way to protect the child trafficking cult, you creep. Child trafficker, you must be one if you're trying to protect him so bad. Also, do you know how much better the chalk's
Oh, it looks like this clip might have actually come from Selfless Self's channel.
gonna look when I redo it over your bullshit right now? This is the dumbest shit you've done with your day all day. Are you fucking proud of yourself? Are you so proud of protecting the child trafficking?
Guys, he didn't just come armed with one Coca-Cola bottle. This professional came armed with 2 Coca-Cola bottles. Yeah, he just happened to be walking by with a suitcase and a backpack to dump Coca-Cola on the sidewalk.
Oh my God, so bad, so great.
He even shook that can up.
You guys getting this?
Oh my goodness, he's doing the chalk shuffle.
All right.
Coke chalk shuffle, guys. Now, who would be so determined to get rid of chalk on the sidewalk that not only are you going to dump multiple units of soda on there, but then you're going to get your shoes all nasty and you're going to shuffle through some warm ass soda and chalk on the sidewalk? That's disgusting. Nobody's doing that without getting paid for it.
Yeah, nice evidence of your actual.
Look at this drunk trying to make a
jeez.
mistake. Yeah, you're drunk fuck.
Yeah, drunk idiot that you are.
You're an embarrassment. This is gross. You're a drunk fuck. who's standing up for
Wow.
the podcast.
I promise you, that guy is not a Scientologist. That is an example of Scientology using non-Scientologists to do their dirty work for them in a way that they believe could never actually be traced back to them. Just like Patrick Perry, just like Joey, just like Poodle Guy, just like so many other characters that we have seen pop up to regularly harass the protesters, try to initiate confrontations, all this kind of stuff. Amazing to see that roll out there like that. All right, let's see. Let's jump back into the live chat here. Spicy Cat Foster. So much love to Natalie and Reese. Well, there you go. Amba Guy. Any chance Natalie would stream part of her Tony's ceremony? Yep, I believe that is the plan. Anna from Canada. The Canadian legal system is threatening to Davey. That is why he hates us Canadians and threatened to ship those in the hole to Canada. That could be one of the reasons. It's just also that the Sea Org, the CLO in Toronto is one of the worst places to be in the Sea Org. Believe it or not, the CLO in New York City is also one of the worst places to be in the Sea Org. And Miscavige knows it. Yeah. Oh, okay. Pearl Snappy says he is not an F-Sciento. He's not a Scientologist. But I've seen him go into the org. Selfless Self and I have seen him multiple times. This is the first time he's messed with us. Let's find out who he is. Let's send his photo over to, I don't know how Streets LA does what he does, but if anyone knows, if someone can send this guy's photo over to Streets and find out who he is, or just find out how Streets finds out who people are and do that. Yeah. You know, if Scientology is going to use someone to harass protesters, let's make them famous. SPTV famous, y'all. Tori, what a waste of Coke. Exactly. That's what I thought. Match Madagra. Oh, macht mir doch egal. Wait. Macht mich doch egal. Macht. Goddamn. Okay, sorry. I can't curse. Macht mich doch egal. I think it means I don't care. Sticky Tech. Yeah. Sticky Coke Tech. Aaron Ausman. Does the Minnesota org have underground parking? Could Davey possibly hide out here in Minnesota? Davey would not want to be hiding out in Minnesota. Not a great place to hide out for little Captain Davey of the fake Space Navy. Panko, welcome as a new channel member. Okay, let's see. Okay, good. I will send Pearl's links to Nancy afterwards. Oh, look, wait, that's the wrong one. Someone said my pronunciation of that German phrase was excellent. On certain German phrases are easier for me to pronounce than other German phrases. One of my favorites is ist ein wunderschöner Tag heute. Ist ein wunderschöner Tag heute means it's a wonderful day today. You can say wo sind die Haltestelle bitte? I think that's where's the bus stop, please. Wo sind die Toiletten bitte? Wo sind die Toiletten bitte? Where's the toilet, please? Ich will ein Bier. I want a beer. And I probably shouldn't say the other phrases. And Casillas. The best part was watching all the idiots tracking it into the org. They spilled Coca-Cola all over the sidewalk in front of the org. The best part was watching all the idiots tracking it into the org the rest of the day. Coke and beer for days in there. Oh, was the second can beer? I wondered why he had a 2-liter of Coke and then a can of Coke. Who's out there buying single cans of Coke? Anyway, I guess it's just as likely to have been a single can of Coke as a single can of beer. But either way, Squirrel SPTV says it means I don't care. Yep, that's what I thought. All right, let's see here. I want to wrap it up by one more time, just showing you guys the GoFundMe. Let me see. I'll hit a little refresh on here. All right. Yeah. Even since the beginning of this video, made some very decent progress on it. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Let's see if we can get it up to the full fundraising goal of 50,000. That would be beautiful. Let's see. Today's Friday. Yes, I'm still going to be doing the morning recap tomorrow because I don't travel until later in the afternoon. And then I guess we'll see what happens Sunday. And I can tell you that on Monday, me and Natalie are planning on doing it together. Two co-hosts. It'll be like Siskel and Ebert, Scientology, SPTV, Siskel and Ebert, and that should be a whole heck of a lot of fun. All right, let's see. Am I forgetting anything at all? I don't think so, guys. We managed to do an hour and 15 minutes. I'm very proud of myself. I hope you guys are as proud of me as I am of myself. And this has been a blast. So thank you for hanging out. And as always, have an amazing cult-free day.